I want everyone to think back to their last impulse purchase. The thing that you bought even though you really didn't need to, yet somehow found yourself pushing add to cart and checkout anyways. For me, when I think about the time that I bought this awesome red light therapy mask after some girl on my TikTok made it look really cool, I can't exactly say that that was the wisest financial choice I've ever made. But regardless of the product, I have no doubt that most of us in this room have at one point fallen victim to an impulse purchase. And I'm sure many of us, this has happened to quite a few times. So if your front door sometimes looks a little bit like this, just know that you're in good company. But why is it so easy for us to fall victim to impulse purchases? The answer probably lies in how marketing strategies have changed over the years. So, when we think of ads, we're used to them being blown up on billboards or obviously placed in commercials. But now, product placements are being subtly ingrained into the photos and videos that social media influencers post on a regular basis. Social media influencers are basically experts at getting us to buy things that we don't need. And they're so good at doing so because they're utilizing psychological persuasion tactics that get us to press checkout without even thinking twice. Persuasion is a communication technique designed to influence the way we behave and the way we think. Persuasion isn't forcing someone to do what you want them to, but rather convincing them. At the end of the day, it is our choice if we're going to engage in that behavior or not. However, those choices are often shaped by subtle psychological pressures. Persuasion strategies work so well because they tap into deep-rooted human desires to appear consistent and to reciprocate favors. The idea of consistency comes down to the fact that as human beings, we like to believe that we know ourselves very well. And part of this is ensuring that our actions are in line with our self-perceptions. So if we see ourselves as a helpful or supportive person, then we're going to want our behavior to be consistent with that perception. The foot in the door technique is a persuasion strategy that takes advantage of this. So when you see an influencer ask you to do something like follow them or like this video for more, we often do that without even thinking twice about it. And as time passes and we scroll through our TikToks, we come to see ourselves as loyal supporters of this influencer. So the next time they ask us for something, maybe it's something big like buying a product they're promoting, we actually become more likely to spend our money and buy that product because we want our behaviors to be consistent with the perception we have of being a loyal supporter of that influencer. The second idea of reciprocity is, as humans, we would feel uncomfortable if we didn't do something in return for somebody that we felt did us a favor. And the that's not all folks technique is a persuasion strategy that takes advantage of this. The persuader starts by presenting you with an offer. But before you have a chance to accept it or deny it, they throw in something extra to sweeten that deal up. Social media influencers are doing this constantly. I don't know how many times I've seen someone I follow on TikTok promote a very expensive clothing brand that's totally unreasonable, but before I scroll away, here they are throwing me a personalized discount code to get 30% off my order. And let me tell you, I've used a few of those codes. So this idea of giving you a discount code feels like a token of that influencer's generosity. And that generosity triggers reciprocation, making it feel almost impossible for us to scroll away without saying a big thank you and using that code to get money off our order, money we otherwise wouldn't have spent. This matters because we are exposed to countless influencers on a daily basis across all sorts of apps who are promoting one product or the other. And research shows that mere exposure to social media influencers increases our consumption habits tenfold. And the more we fall victim to these persuasion strategies, the more we're contributing to this kind of global crisis of overconsumption, leading us to place extra strain on the environment, as well as stressing out the workers who have to keep up with this endless cycle of trends that we see online that'll truly never stop. So, social media influencers aren't going anywhere, and I doubt that many of us are going to be willing to give up our beloved social media apps just to save a few dollars. So, how could we become more mindful consumers? It starts by keeping these persuasion tactics in mind. Knowing now the psychological power of pushing the follow button may make us hesitate before we decide to do so in the future. Limiting our exposure to social media's content, even just scrolling by videos faster so we don't feel the need to reciprocate any favors, may make us more mindful consumers, leading us to save more, spend less, and avoid contributing to overconsumption. Thank you.